Welcome to another episode of Exploring the Vintage NFT Space podcast with Zero G. Today I'm excited to have with me a Rare Pepe OG artist, Mr. BitcoinBeast. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Oh, let me turn my video. How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, I honestly can't complain.
Yeah, looking forward to talking with you today. I know you have quite the assortment of cards that you've contributed to, including a historically significant one, the PEPEME.
Yeah,
So
PEPEME, or
yeah,
alternatively pronounced PEPEME.
okay. Yeah, well, before we jump into your cards, um, why don't you tell me the story about how you got and like found out about crypto, and then what was it that finally convinced you to actually like jump through the hoop and make your first purchase?
So when Bitcoin, I found out about it online in 2011. I've definitely told this story before on a different podcast. But yeah, I just found out about it online. Like I saw it on the Tor network, and then I saw another friend post about it on Facebook. And then first time I ignored it, second time like it just piqued my interest a lot. And then between then and the time I bought it, like it was about 2 weeks. So I bought my first Bitcoin at $2. So I've like held and lost a lot of Bitcoin. But what's the yeah, so and then in 2014 that's when XCP came out, and I made my first counterparty wallet in 2014. And then Rare Pepes, also another friend showed me that. Um and I remember when Series 1 was being minted, and I was like, what's this? And yeah, just went around and did a bunch of stuff.
I
Um
guess backing up a little bit, so I know you found out about Bitcoin in 2011, but what was actually intriguing enough to like that motivated you enough to make your first purchase though? Like what?
well, because I was just reading about it, and I just saw the potential for online payments without necessarily understanding like how it worked and stuff. And I was just thinking, like, if I could just pay with this instead of a credit card where I have to put in all my information, I just like click and pay. I thought like that alone would give it enough value, that it would be worth way more than it is, because I also saw that the supply was 21 million, and so if it could just even replace credit cards a little bit and the supply was 21 million, then it's got to be worth more than it is right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, so you were around the scene and you heard about counterparty pretty early on and rare pepes. But before we jump into your rare pepes, you've created quite a few. What had you done in terms of digital art or digital media prior to that too?
Um, Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is your first time creating something online?
Yeah, and even the Pepes that I made, like I didn't do most of the art. I just like did the tokens and partnered with artists.
Okay.
Well, Pepime is an exception actually. I did the art for that. Well, actually, no, not even. The AI did the art.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you were I guess circling back, so you're saying that yeah, you found out about Rare Pepes in season one, and so what motivated you to jump in and participate and end up creating your own cards?
Um, well, just because I saw that I could, and I don't know what was my thought process. I was just like, yeah, I thought they'd be valuable in the future, and just was coming up with ideas, and it was like um kind of like prospecting, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just
Anyway,
a form of, like joining the digital gold rush. I mean, even at the time that was on my mind. I mean, not necessarily the words gold rush, but I guess the feeling of it.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely a wild scene back then. So you decided to just kind of join in and make your own cards.
Yeah.
I know you have quite the quite the variety of cards. So so for these cards that you like, you were doing the token for, and someone else was doing the art. So was this like something you were outsourcing the art for, or were you
I mean,
or
I guess you could say that. Like
yeah,
I instead of doing the art myself and taking 100% of the cards,
uh-huh.
like I would just like
Were you
talk
commissioning
to
someone?
various artists and
Okay.
get the token and give half to
Mhm.
myself and half to them. That's pretty much what
Okay.
I did with like 4 or 5 different artists.
Okay. Yeah, so the first the first card that you worked with was what is it? Godim Pepe? I
Do you
pronounced
want a
that.
visual aid? I can like share my screen and
Sure, that works.
okay, cool.
I don't know how you pronounce some of these cards, Godim Pepe,
Yeah, I mean the way I
G-O-D.
pronounce it might not be, the proper
Yeah,
way. But anyways, I that one's called God and Pepe.
okay.
It's like the God Emperor from Warhammer 40K. One of my
Yeah,
favorites.
yeah, I thought I recognized the reference. And the art's pretty cool. Do you know who you had do the art on that one?
Well, it's just literally a ripoff of Warhammer art with a Pepe face on top. It's nothing.
Yeah. So, and most of your other cards have, I think, a higher issuance. Do you know why you went with 100 on this one?
Yeah. Well, it was just the logic of because we had a series of 3 cards,
Uh-huh.
and I made specially sure that it was series 5 cards 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Otherwise they would have been in series 4, but I waited till series 5 and they let me have that. Um, and yeah, just because the Garden Pepe is like more rare, and then you have like
Okay.
best move Pepes, the Space Marines, that are like
Uh-huh.
100 times more, and then Guards Pepe, which in Warhammer 40K, if you know anything about that, you just have like billions of Imperial Guard soldiers, and they're like super weak, but they make up in numbers. So there's just like billions of those ones.
Oh, okay. I had seen those cards and I didn't get the reference, so that totally makes sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I never got into Warhammer 40K, so that's probably why. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, that's cool that you have a set of three like that. Yeah, and for reference, we're like Guards Pepe has like 999 million supply, 999. So,
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Like I thought it was multiple billions, but I can double check.
well, at least that's what X Chain is showing right now. So,
Um, that one is right. Yeah, it's like 1 billion, and it was one
yeah.
billion. And the reason it has less is because a few of them have been burnt by various people.
Oh, oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. So when you were doing these too, so were you just trading them for other cards, just listing them what was your strategy back then?
The most I just sold some for XCP,
Yeah.
and just to get some XCP and distribution and for fun. That's it.
Yeah. And what was uh the next one you have is I think kind of cute. I like the description for Pepe Artiste, which
Oh yeah,
is rare artisanal hand drawn Pepe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that one actually my sister drew that one, and then yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, you hook her up with a few.
I don't think I actually sent her some. I think I sent her some XCP though from sales.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Was that in that hand drawn series that they had, or was that just
I don't know about that. Like it's just a
okay?
one off for me, but
Okay.
um, yeah, that one's actually like I think people like that one. That's one of the most popular ones that I made, definitely.
Yeah. Well, and another one I always thought was kind of funny was Memestealer, which is one of
Yeah,
those
no, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
it's it's one of those cards where it's high enough supply where pretty much anyone right now who has, $5 or $10 can
Oh,
get a
totally.
cool
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, I think I have like I put some for sale on the decks too. But so that also comes from Warhammer, by the way, because there's this thing in Warhammer called a gene stealer. So he
Uh-huh.
just replaces gene with meme, kind of like PEPEME as well.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
got it. Cool, yeah. I mean, but yeah, there's
Oh, and
it's
also we stole the Warhammer art, so it's kind of a double entendre there because we
oh, I
like
see.
yeah, we stole the Warhammer meme and
Yeah.
Stealer.
in Memestealer. Yeah, that's cool. I always thought that was a fun card for, there's a handful of like super high supply cards, and that's one of the fun ones that people can afford to get, even if they only have, $5 or $10 or whatever.
Right, right. Yeah, totally. No, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, it really works. I like the animation. And
That was the same artist who did the other Warhammer once. The same collab.
okay. Another one I see all the time too, and people burn them and whatnot, is the zombie Pepes.
Yeah.
Um,
So that one is interesting because I did that with a collaboration with Gus Griaska, and he's like
yeah,
decently well-known NFT artist now as well. He's got a bunch of different NFTs on Bitcoin mostly, probably. Um, and yeah, for that one I tried to get Zombie Pepe, but it was taken. So I got Zombie Pepes instead.
I
And
see.
yeah, and the description at the time I wrote like burn them all. So some people might say it's like the first NFT that you're supposed to burn. I don't know if like that makes any sense, but um people I think like started burning the zombies just because it says burn them in the description.
Yeah,
So but I didn't actually intend for that to be like crypto burning. I just thought like it's zombies, so you
yeah,
would,
yeah.
but it's funny.
That's cool. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, and they're cheap enough to where you could buy like 1,000 and burn half of them if you wanted.
Oh, well, like we joke about it because if you go to like xchain.io and you
Uh-huh.
search zombie pepes,
Uh-huh.
actually if you look at the holders list and
Yeah,
then you look at the value of their holdings, like
yeah.
it goes into the billions because there's some people who are just like buy single zombie pepes for like $5 or something. And since there's 4 billions of them, there's like the market cap is 12 billion or something stupid like that. Like people are buying individual zombie pepes on OpenSea, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
with
Ethereum
emblem
wrapped
vault.
version. Yeah, so they're buying the Ethereum wrapped version for like $5 or something, and I don't even know if they realize there's 4 billion of them. So that's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people buy a single Pepe Cash too for like $50 or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
on OpenSea.
exactly. Yeah. So that just makes for really like ridiculous market caps.
Yeah, I think the thing that took the cake is, I think, was it Robness? Someone during the 2021 bull, I think he sold a single Satoshi uh 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 of what's the that series one card that's divisible, the
Oh, the Lord Keck.
Lord Keck. Yeah, I think they sold a single Satoshi of Lord Keck for 1F, but which, what makes it an astronomical, like, I don't even know how you'd calculate the value at that rate.
Well, yeah, Lord Keck is interesting because it's divisible, and
Yeah.
the divisible ones are in series one because they put a stop to that after series one. So all Pepe cards are required to be non-divisible. So that just makes the ones that are divisible like super rare and valuable. But
Yeah.
actually, like it's a good thing that Lord Keck was divisible because people are buying all this Keck dust, and that
Yeah.
market would not exist if it was, you know. So that
Yeah.
actually like, really heightens the value of that card. And
Yeah. I mean, I
I'll tell you
bought.
a secret. I have one, like a whole one.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, that's baller, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congrats on keeping it too, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that alone is quite an accomplishment. And now I would consider it one of the goats in the directory. I mean, again, getting an entire card is extraordinarily hard. I
Oh yeah. Like there's no liquidity. I mean, the thing is, on both sides, like if I tried to sell it right away, I might not be able to get like what it's worth. But if I tried to buy one, I'd have to pay like way
Yeah,
more than
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I think, I mean, to be honest, I think you could sell that for more than some of the one of ones. I mean,
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Like there's only like two or three one of ones. I think
there's a
those are
lot of
probably
burn down one of ones, though, is what I was thinking.
the one of ones like Jong Pepe and then I forgot the other ones. But I think they're probably more valuable than Lord Keck, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of academic because it's out of our league anyway. But in terms of buying, but congrats on being a holder, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You need to get some swag to celebrate that.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of making like an app where only Lord Keck holders can go inside, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's like
You know,
nice.
you know what? While we were talking about that too, like I bought or was gifted like a couple satoshis of Lord Keck just so I could have that in my wallet. So I mean it's a thing. I did the same thing with FD card and I think Satoshi card. A friend of mine hooked me up with a little bit of dust for from those since they're divisible.
So Lord Keck right now is currently valued at um so one of the last sales, they sold 0.00001 Lord Keck for 10 XCP or $100. So that would value one Lord Keck at $10 million at that price, or $12.4 million. But like that's if you go by the Keck dust, which is like a tiny percentage, a tiny fraction of Lord Keck sold at that value, at a value of $12 million per.
And I just pulled it up in Pepe.wtf, and it looks like there's what like nine. That can't be right. How many? I'm trying to see how many whole cards, how many addresses have whole cards, and that's not right. So it's
It
times.
should be I think it's eight. No, yeah, it's nine. It's nine cards, yeah, which is actually kind of impressive.
Yeah,
And then there's one that holds 0.8, and then
yeah,
like 20%, like or 2% of the rest of the Keck dust is like everyone else.
yeah. Anyway, that's a cool story. And so, I mean, again, congrats on being an owner. So, did you just buy that off the market back then in the day?
Yeah, it was one of the old time Pepe auctions. I
Uh,
believe like I actually like had a Lord Keck and then I sold it and then I bought another one. So
okay.
like I got lucky basically. I think I
Yeah.
bought it for like 40 XCP or something.
Oh my God. One of the greatest trades of all time, right?
Oh yeah, no, like I also bought a Pepe Al Assad, or maybe that was
Uh-huh.
the 40 XCP. That's one of three. So I bought Pepe Al Assad for 40 XCP in an auction, and then like I sold it for like 13 or 12,500 XCP, like 6 years later or 5 years later. So it's like um I don't know how much percentage profit, but
A lot.
yeah. And well, I'm really bullish on XCP. Like that's a super undervalued in my opinion. And it's even controversial in the and like deep in the rare Pepe space. People think XCP has no value. So like I'm really like solitary alone saying XCP actually has value.
I mean, you bring it up, and that's something I was even like got into a bit of a discussion with the counterparty developers. Like counterparty is interesting because it has that native token XCP, which is deflationary, right? You have to burn that in order to.
Yeah, it's fixed supply, and yeah, it
Yeah,
goes down every time somebody buys an asset. It burns like
yeah.
5x 0.5 XCP or whatever. I forgot the exact amount.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because counterparty is like in its way, it's and again, this isn't like an insult, it's just a relic of its time where the tokenomics are kind of jacked up, where there's no direct correlation between functionality and the token itself other than these burn mechanisms. So you have these
You
weird.
need it to create new assets,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also people trade it the cards in XCP, so that's a utility as well.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, in terms of like running a node, like there's no correlation between node runners operating a node and like the actual token, right? It's
No,
users and
but that's also the case with Bitcoin as well.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely I mean, I only see it going up long term because like you said, it's like people keep creating like there's all these directories where people are making assets and um
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
new cards every day. If you go to X Chain and then you
yeah.
click on like issuances or assets. Sorry, like you can see like there's a few new cards even being created every day, and for each one of those it burns a small amount of XCP. So and there's only 2.6 million XCP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tiny supply, so there's usually only a small amount on the market at any time. So
Exactly. Like there's like if people try to start buying it, like there's nowhere to buy it. It's just impossible. Like it's just gonna fly straight to the moon.
yeah,
Um,
so that's cool that you have a bag of that. Um, yeah, what a crazy story. Um, and so like the next card I wanted to talk about is I think is pretty astounding. Is so PEPEME
yeah,
is from my understanding the first known NFT at the moment that was created using um, AI art tools at the time.
yeah. Like some people started messaging about it, and I was honestly surprised. Like I had no idea, but when I made it, like I was just I guess I had seen the AI forgot what it's called, like these videos Google made where you had like images of dogs with like eyes in them, and that's called well, I tried to make just an image, right?
Yeah,
AI sort of um well, I mean, I don't even know if I was going for that. I just wanted to get like um some kind of image that looked like DNA but pepify it. So I
yeah.
wanted to get DNA and then pepify it. And then my mind just went to this, and I'm like, okay. And I tried to look around, and I guess I found this site called deepart.io, and I just put like an image of DNA that I found from Google and some image of Pepe, and then I just combined them both and I came up with this. So then I got DNA Pepe, and it's Pepe, right? It's like instead of gene, it's a meme. So that's
Well, I think
basically my thought process. That's what it was.
yeah, I mean it's really extraordinary in the sense that like we're in 2024 right now, and AI art has been blowing up in the last 18 months. We've gone from like super jank and creepy stuff that it would produce, like like as an example, we had like the kind of the famous like Will Smith eating spaghetti type stuff, and like these like almost surreal looking still images that it would produce now to where it's photorealistic and
Yeah,
hard to distinguish now. So so I think like these early AI art pieces are really an interesting piece of history, and this being like, as far as we know right now, the first tokenized AI artwork is
right,
pretty
right. Yeah,
significant.
yeah. This one was called neural style transfer. I looked it up later. So use some kind of machine learning algorithm. I guess it's just like an early form of AI, and some people might even debate whether it is an AI, but I think it's kind of solid to say that it's AI. Um,
I think it's GAN, isn't it? Isn't that what it uses behind the scenes?
um, I'm not sure. It might.
Okay,
No. It's not GAN. No.
not GAN. Okay,
That's what I was inspired by, but no. This is called neural style transfer.
okay,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know all the details.
yeah.
It's some kind of machine learning.
Yeah, and when you were using deepart.io, was that a free service on a
It
website, or
was
you have to
free,
pay?
yeah.
Yeah,
The only way I figured out, because I didn't remember, but I searched my email and
yeah,
found emails of like email receipts of having generated these images. It's not AI generation, by the way. It's not AI generated because it started from the two images, right? So it's an AI um, like assisted or AI tools or
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, even if it wasn't end to end created in an AI tool, the fact that, again, this is the first relic of this explosion where now, you know, back then that was really revolutionary, like using those tools. Like nowadays, like in 2024, there's all these news websites where they're already using, instead of using Shutterstock or another stock image firm, or paying artists, they just have AI create thumbnails for them for every story, and they look
Yeah,
great, right? I mean, it's already like eating so much. So
exactly. And like this is like the first or a milestone in the intersection between blockchain and AI.
yeah, yeah, for sure. That's that's really wild.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, thousand supply, and I think that's definitely going to be a significant piece going forward. That was
Yeah, I hope
minted
so.
in.
Like nobody knows about it. Like I joke that I have negative marketing skills. Like anything I touch like falls becomes more obscure.
I mean, and this is like so like the this was minted in 2016, right?
Yes.
And like a lot of the high value stuff that's gone for example, we have those famous ones, the lost Robbies on Ethereum. Those are 2018. So this is 2 years older. So just to
It's
kind of,
pre-NFT. Like these
yeah,
Pepe cards, they happened before anybody was talking about NFTs. So
yeah, yeah, definitely cool. So, and I'm glad that you kept a stack of those too. So,
yes.
it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts. As the like already we're seeing these vintage AI collections kind of blow up. So, I think that's just going to continue going forward. I don't see how it couldn't, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's see, because like normally everything I do it seems to be like, just like linger in obscurity. But um it seems like it has to come out. So it's gonna be interesting personally to see how that happens. I
Yeah,
don't know. It's gonna be a fun ride. Like
yeah, for sure.
I'm really happy that you also reached out. But as you know, like on your videos, they got like 100 views. So yeah, I guess I just yeah, it's just like um we'll see.
Just a bunch of nerds right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely good time. So, congrats on that. It'll Yeah, I'm just curious, like to me of all the like early NFTs, I think the AI stuff is just a really interesting niche with really low supply too of or there's a low number of individual pieces. You know, definitely like pre 2019, it's we're not talking about a ton of art out there. So, and again,
Yeah.
especially when you get back to like 2017, 2016.
Um I pretty much stopped making Pepe cards after 2016, 2017, early 2017. But yeah, anyways. Um,
Yeah, you created there's a couple more we'll go through. You helped out with the Pepe t-shirt and Pepe and got Pepe t-shirt, right?
yeah, Pepe t-shirt like also is could be an interesting first as well. Arguably, it's the first wearable NFT. Arguably.
Yeah,
We have to actually make it into a t-shirt. But we could claim that it's the first wearable NFT. It was actually intended to that you could basically use it to claim a physical real t-shirt.
yeah.
Uh, and then afterwards we would send you the God Pepe t-shirt. But um yeah. The that's also the same artist that did Pepe Zombies as well. Shout out to
Okay,
Skriaska. Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I thought that was that's cool. Being able to redeem those. So
Yeah, I mean, like if we could get sort of a confirmation and I don't know, like get into the Guinness Book of World Records, like for those that would be too crazy first. Like number one is like the PEPEME, which is like the first AI NFT, and then number two is the Pepe T-shirt, which is like the first wearable NFT. I don't know,
yeah,
maybe there's another one, but not that I know of. So
yeah, definitely wild. So yeah, and the final one. or you have two more I wanted to cover real quick too. Is like Pepe Russ, which is that like Vladimir meme, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was created by this girl from Russia that I met on the Telegram and like never heard from her again. But yeah, she has some too. It's just one of the collabs that I did.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, and Soggy Pepe, which was a cool South Park reference, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also a collab from one of the Rare Pepe community members on Telegram.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, definitely wild. I mean, so before we jump in, I know you've got some other projects you want to talk about. So I mean, again,
Oh,
this
that's
was all
okay.
kind. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, say that again.
Oh no, we can like I don't know, like try to delve into Pepe. I don't know what else to share really. I think like just the most important things we've already covered. You know, like the what it was made with deep art, neural style transfer. I think a lot of the story is yet to be told, to be honest. But I mean, we could talk about the art on it, like you know, like it's a meme. Um, a gene. Some of the trading cards they're like supposedly you know kind of like are meant to be used in a game. You know, so they
Yeah.
have rules on them. So you know, I just put like +5 virality.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you showed me an alternate image that you produced at the same time with the
yeah,
same tool that
yeah,
I'll throw up on the screen too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it
I
is
thought
pretty
that looked
cool.
really sharp too.
I think I have some more saved in my computer somewhere. But actually, what I need to do is pull up the original images. Maybe I can pull that up for you later on, like
Yeah,
the ones that I used. If I still have those somewhere. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I just wanted to like ask what your thoughts and feelings are now. Like again, like all these were kind of done in a short period of time back then. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, looking back, having this portfolio of and one of the most important NFT projects out there.
Mm-hmm. Um, sorry, was there a question?
I mean, how do you feel about having participated in Rare Pepes and having this portfolio of work? I mean, it's got to feel good to to have
Yeah,
this.
I mean, like, uh, I won't lie. It's like it's not like it's some kind of rocket science and it took special genius or anything like that. It's just that it's sort of the right place, right time kind of thing. And the difference is, you know, did you press the buttons or did you not press the buttons? Did
Yeah.
you do the deed or did you not do the deed? And it's very
Mhm.
binary. And like, if you didn't do the deed, you know, it's brutal. Like, you won't get
Yeah.
rewarded in the blockchain. If you did the deed, you get the opposite end of that, which is just like completely disproportionate rewards that are so massive and completely disproportionate to the, you know, like the um difficulty of the actions that you took.
Yeah.
So, like I don't know what to say. It's just like, you know, like buy some Bitcoin in 2011 and then you hold on to it or you don't hold on to it. It's like binary and you just get rewarded on the basis of having done it or having not done it. And there's nobody who can take away from that or add to it, you know. Like if you didn't do it, nobody can help you. If you did do it, nobody can stop you.
Yeah.
So like if just the lesson is just like do it. I don't know. Um I'm not I'm not gonna like try to claim like some people like, you know, that you always get what you deserve. Like no, like definitely it's way more than what I deserve in that sense, you know. But at least that's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, so you've still got a bag of your cards, which is I think really cool because some artists sold everything during either during the bear or during the bull. So it's nice that you still have some of your cards, especially the PEPEME.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but I know you had another project you wanted to talk about, which is like bit bars. You want to tell me about that?
Um Yeah, so I mean, as I was saying to you earlier, like this AI NFT stuff, like I never was an expert in AI. I don't think I've done anything really impressive in AI except for this.
Yeah.
So I was like really surprised to learn that I've essentially been a pioneer in that field. Well, it's more like, but so for bitbars, I really think I came up with something very unique and novel and pioneering.
Yeah.
And the idea is to create like NFTs that represent the value of block space, and I call them block space NFTs. Not only it's not just that they represent the value of block space, like they take up actual block space. And so I just decided, like, I'll tell you where the idea came from. Like when ordinals first came out, um, I actually compared them to these Pepe cards in my mind, because I was like, okay, I know this is probably gonna be big, no guarantees, of course, but I just have to like spin up these nodes and like figure out how to actually make inscriptions and do ordinals. Because if I do them, I'm just gonna probably, maybe get these outsized rewards. It's like the
Yeah.
gold rush mentality.
Mhm.
And so I was like saying to myself, I want to like spam Bitcoin, but how do I spam Bitcoin in a way that doesn't feel like spam? And so my mind always goes to like these self-referential types of ideas, right? And sort of like a meta thinking way of thinking.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, well, what if I just say, like, if I'm putting 1 kilobyte on Bitcoin, I just call it 1 kilobyte, and it says 1 kilobyte. And I guess nobody else had done that before. So we just made all these I got my also another artist collaboration um with my friend, goes by the moniker Dream, with 3 E's or 4 E's, I don't remember. And so he made these SVGs, of these like gold bars. You can go to bitbars.xyz, and it just says 1 kilobyte, and they take the file size is exactly 1 kilobyte. So I made like spammed 1,000 of those onto the Bitcoin blockchain
Uh-huh.
via ordinal inscriptions. And that was the genesis of the idea. After that, we started doing like some bigger ones. So it goes 1 kilobyte, 2 kilobytes, 4, and then all the way up to 256 powers of 2. And yeah, like the idea is like Bitcoin block space is limited. There's only so much space per block. There's only so many blocks per hour. So if uh, the price of transactions go up, you won't be able to mint more of these unless you pay like really high fees. So while the fees are low, we mint some of these, and then because they'll be scarce in the future, the cost will probably go up. And yeah, you can also see it as like a sort of like artistic conceptual. But
That's
like, don't get me wrong, I'm also interested in minting the maximum amount of these that I can. Just get sort of the maximum amount of block space. And I think of it as like owning block space, even though you can't overwrite it. It's still there, and it's still like scarce and limited. I mean, same principle as Bitcoin, right? Like what I say is that like we're doing to Bitcoin block space what Bitcoin does to energy, because Bitcoin just like burns energy to create Bitcoin, right? It's like not like the energy goes into any particularly useful use, but like in the same way, we're just burning Bitcoin block space, and it's not like the block space goes to any particular use. Although we could also put like valuable data on there, that's because like historical data or something, that's valuable to store permanently.
yeah, it's such a simple concept, but really elegant, like
Yeah, to my knowledge, nobody has done this before I have, and we got people copying us a little bit as well. So, but yeah, we were the pioneers, first one to do it in this particular way. Oh, and so like what I like to think is like it's a new way to measure value. It's a new measure of value where you measure value in kilobytes.
yeah, interesting.
Such a sweet
Yeah,
idea.
well, yeah. So are you guys still minting those, or is that collection closed right now?
No, yeah, we're The collection's closed, but we can obviously make new collections, and we need to make a minting app to allow people to mint at will, so they can just mint their own block space whenever they feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, and ordinals have certainly blown up. Since they've come into being, we've seen multiple multi Bitcoin sales for the early ordinals inscriptions, and a lot of these collections have been just going bonkers this year. So yeah, definitely a cool like a cool idea for a project.
Oh, and as a side note, I also did the same thing on Litecoin, where the bars are
Okay.
silver instead of gold. And Litecoin, the fees are so cheap that I managed to actually like single-handedly fill up so many blocks that I increased the size of the Litecoin blockchain by 10% in 2 weeks. I have a Twitter post about it. So yeah, like if you download a Litecoin node, like 10% of that is just like block space NFTs that I made. You're just putting it on your computer.
Yeah, I pulled up a one of those Litecoin ordinal
Also,
wallets.
I dropped those to about 40,000 addresses too. So like all the top Litecoin wallets hold one of my NFTs, and they're just kind of circulating around because I dropped them to a bunch of active addresses. And since they're not like ordinal wallet addresses, they just send them around like regular Litecoin. So there's a bunch of my NFTs just circulating around, like masquerading as regular Litecoin.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up one of those ordinal Litecoin ordinal wallets, and yeah, it's crazy how cheap it is to inscribe on Litecoin.
Yeah, you can currently do last time I checked, like 1 megabyte for $1. That's really,
Jeez, that's crazy.
yeah, the blocks are still empty. But I could even do a quick demo. And just like, well, I have to sync up my Litecoin node, but
Oh, that's
I
all right. But yeah, that yeah, that's what someone
fill
was
up the
explaining to me.
blocks in real time is what I'm saying. I could like show you how the blocks being filled
Yeah,
up in real time.
yeah, it's insane though how cheap that is. And um, I
So
like
what I like I say like it cost me about 70 or 80 Litecoin to upload about 10 gigabytes to Litecoin blockchain. So I traded 1 millionth of all Litecoin, the entire Litecoin supply, for about 10% of the Litecoin block space.
yeah, like you said, now everyone's syncing all of your NFTs in a full node.
Yeah. It applies to Bitcoin too. On Bitcoin, we put about 60 megabytes so far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, in terms of the block space in Bitcoin is, the most secure, valuable network in the world. So definitely
Exactly.
cool.
Um,
Yeah. So do you have any other projects that you had in mind or that you're working on?
yeah, I'm trying to build a blockchain right now for my project called Ukash.
Oh,
Um, yeah, uh, we're just like a crypto that we started in 2016 as well. Actually, in 2018, we did like something called an initial bounty offering. We got a bunch of people to do tasks. It was on a centralized portal, but it was really popular, and we got like a few 100,000 people signing up. And Ukash even like went to like number 20 on CoinMarketCap for like a few days. But then there was an issue with the circulating supply, and CoinMarketCap downgraded us, and I think people lost confidence or something. But it's still around. Like Ukash is still around, hasn't died, even though some people might assume that. Yeah, still working on it. So yeah, really
oh,
excited
that's
about it.
interesting.
Yeah. Ukash is it's like sort of a dormant volcano. Like it could like erupt, but yeah, right now nobody's paying attention.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. What's the supply on that?
21 billion.
Okay.
Also fixed supply. But
That proof. Well,
I
how
don't think
did
it's
how
as set in stone as Bitcoin, and I don't know if like a fixed supply is necessarily the best like policy for economic policy for like a global cryptocurrency. I think that if the cryptocurrency grows, then the supply should probably grow as well. to let new people have a chance to earn some. Otherwise, it just gets concentrated in whoever was there in the beginning, which is exactly what's happened with XCP and all the Pepe cards and Bitcoin for that matter. Basically, like anybody who joins in late has like no chance to like to catch up to the holders that were there from the start, even if they put in like 10 times as much effort or 100 times as much effort, you know. So I think that's like not good for some crypto that wants to be a global currency. I think there needs to be some kind of inflation in the supply, as long as it's growing. If the ecosystem is shrinking, then you probably want to burn some supply. But if it's growing, you want to create new supply too.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so if there's no if it's fixed supply, then how's the network secured? Is it like are fees burned and then redistribute, or are fees redistributed to like?
Well, that's what happens with Bitcoin, right?
Yeah,
it's distributed to the miners, but like all the main holders of Bitcoin, they stay the same throughout, right? No matter,
yeah,
you just sit on it, you do nothing. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
It's,
guess is it
it's not
proof of work or
based.
proof of stake?
Ukash.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a blockchain released yet, but it's going to be
Oh, okay.
it's going to be proof of stake. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's why. I guess I was kind of confused there. I thought it was already up and running. So
No,
cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's an interesting project. A community launched, crypto. So it'll be interesting to see.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of bounced around a little bit. We've talked about
We should get
your
back to to PEPEME or
yeah, yeah. If you want to, if there's anything else you wanted to share about that.
yeah, I don't know. I just want to hear people's opinions. Like, I think we need to um try to verify this first AI NFT status. Maybe get it in the Guinness Book of World Records or something like that. Make it official and verified. Um, yeah, that's probably the next step.
I think I would imagine that it's probably possible to create a tool that can basically validate whether or not one of these an image was created using those old school tools, because they have a very kind of distinctive look. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not possible to, even though you don't have the,
Surely possible, and even if it's not possible today, with future technology, it will definitely be possible.
yeah, because like I remember when someone pointed that out to me, and I looked closely at the image. It definitely looks AI created too, in the way that that image in the center pane looks. Plus the other ones that you showed me too.
My
They have that.
only regret is that it's not the first on-chain AI NFT that exists on a blockchain.
Yeah,
But I can't have everything.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, hey, that was what was popular back then. So, you know,
Yeah, back then, yeah, people weren't putting NFTs on chain yet. It's kind of surprising how long it's taken for on-chain NFTs to become like popular. It really just started with ordinals. Before that, people weren't doing it much at all.
yeah, it was really just kind of small scale experiments, really. With
And there's
small
also
collections.
an interesting, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but um coincidence that ordinals came out like about the same time when ChatGPT started getting popular.
Interesting. I didn't think of that, but um,
Maybe it's just coincidence though.
yeah. Well, I know that speaking of AI, I know a lot of the art that has ended up in these newer collections has been AI generated too. So, you know,
Exactly.
kind of going full circle there,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's valuable like as well. Like I don't think anybody's properly done this systematically, but to put AI generated art on chain over time, to like track have like an immutable record of the progression of um like the ability of AI, because you can see it changing in real time, but if you put something immutable, you're like, okay, this is like definite proof that this is what the capabilities of AI was at that point in time.
Yeah.
And this is something that'll be very, very valuable for, let's say, historians looking at on-chain.
Yeah, that's one thing I think is neat about the old AI NFTs is that you have a glimpse into the state of the art at the time, like with Deep Black and
Yeah,
some of
that's
those
true.
other ones.
What I'm
Yeah,
saying doesn't really apply to PEPEME because it's not
yeah,
on-chain. Put on the,
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
like
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I know PEPEME isn't on chain, but
the token.
that there's basically no disputing the authenticity of the image with how widely dispersed the Rare Pepe directory is,
Right,
with all the images hashed and everything.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be keeping my eye on it. And see how the market reacts to um, you know, the AI NFTs and early AI NFTs in particular. I mean, be interesting to see, what happens. So, I don't know. I don't want to make predictions, but um nothing would surprise me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and again, it's got to feel good and maybe a little bit surreal to realize, years later that you have kind of an important milestone in the, NFT scene in that way.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Um, but like it's kind of crazy of me, myself, and co-founders at Ukash. We've done a lot of like really crazy things, and I like I was telling my co-founder, it's like, oh look at what I did, and he's like, oh okay, add it to the list. That was funny.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely been fun. Kind of bounce around, a bunch of different subjects. And when are you guys planning on launching on Ucash going like mainnet?
I'm planning on April 8th, so pretty close. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's not far away.
yep, yep, yep.
Cool. I'll include a link to that in the
Oh, thanks.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's certainly been a pleasure chatting today. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap it up?
Um, no, yeah, I just I don't know. Like, I'm just super curious what people's thoughts are. Like, if you have thoughts, please tell us your thoughts in the comments. I will read
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really intrigued too. So yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. And thanks for reaching out. It's nice and not a lot of people know about this. And um yeah, it's really nice that you would invite me to talk about it. Thanks.